Audio Track 8.4.
Effective leadership skills.
Okay, thank you for coming, everybody. Thank you. My topic today is the skills that you will need if you want to be a future leader in the world of business. Yes, it's a constantly changing world out there, and the skills that you need as a leader are constantly changing too. In the past, the leader was, well, they tended to be more authoritative. They made all the decisions. They hired and fired the workers. They decided on the targets. The skills that they needed were obvious. But that's changing, and it's changing very fast. So what are the skills that businesses need from leaders now? I'm going to talk about 3 key skills that you have to have if you want to be a leader in the future. So, let's begin. The first one might surprise you a bit. Leaders in the future will need to stop making all the decisions and learn to trust their workers more. They need to become more inclusive. Let me introduce you to Semco Partners, a Brazilian company with over 5,000 employees. Here's what Semco lets its employees do. It lets each member of its staff turn up to work when they want, go home when they want, decide how much vacation time they have, decide what their targets are, and, believe it or not, the company lets each person decide how much they get paid. And just in case you're wondering, Semco Partners is doing very well. Sales have gone up more than 1,000% over the last 10 years. So, why does Semco work like this? About 40 years ago, Semco's new boss, a 21-year-old named Ricardo Semler, noticed that the more control and power his workers had, the more motivated they were. So he decided to reorganize his company to give the workers maximum control and power. At Semco, workers are organized into groups, and each group makes its own decisions about its targets and pay. Every 6 months, they choose their salary, and amazingly, salaries at Semco are about average for the industry. That's because every worker shares in the profits of the company, and if you pay yourself too much, you're taking money away from your coworkers. If that happens, they will probably fire you and hire a new person. And yes, workers at Semco can do both of those things, hire and fire. More and more companies are starting to realize this important lesson. When workers have more control and power, they have greater motivation and become better workers. Learning to trust, then, is the first key skill for the leaders of the future. The second key skill is learning humility. Take a moment to think about someone who is an inspiration to you in your life. Okay, my bet is that this person has humility. I bet they inspire you not because of how great and perfect they are, but because of how human they are. They don't show off and pretend to know everything, but they know enough. Research shows that the best leaders are the ones who have the most humility. They understand that they have a lot to learn, and as a result, they ask for help from their team. This means that their team feels more involved, and it also means that they share more information. And what's the result of all this? Not surprisingly, the result is that the team performs better and the business performs better. A study from 2015, for example, found that workers whose leaders show humility have much greater job satisfaction. Another study showed that students who show humility perform much better at school. This is probably because they know that they don't know everything, and so they actively look for information and skills to fill the gaps. That brings me to the third key skill for the leaders of the future: the ability to build diverse teams. What is a leader's most important role? I would argue that it's to build the best team possible. Leaders definitely can't do everything themselves. They need a team. Whether you're leading a football team or a business or a charity or anything like that, the leader is only as good as the team. And research shows that the most successful teams are diverse. Diverse teams contain people who have different experiences, who come from different backgrounds, and, most importantly, have different ways of thinking. Too often, when teams are set up, they contain people who are similar to each other, and this means that they don't produce the best solutions to complex problems. Instead, they are likely to think in the same way and make the same mistakes. Numerous studies show that diverse groups perform better. They are more profitable, come up with better solutions, and have greater job satisfaction. So, if you are a leader and you are only hiring people who are similar to you, then you are probably failing. Those, then, are the 3 skills that you will need in the future if you want to be a business leader: trust your workers, learn humility, and build diverse teams. Are there any questions at this point?